So the first one on our predictions is Atletico Real Madrid, which is, I think, today.
That's the second leg of the Champions League. Yeah, it's the first of very many big matches this week. And of course, we already had one. Our predictions have come after Liverpool and PSG played. That was a huge one.
Yes.
But yeah, Atletico and Real Madrid. Mark, I think Madrid managed to win that game 2-1 at the Bernabeu. But I thought Atletico would give them a bloody nose, and they actually did, despite the fact that Madrid got a very early goal. Okay. Beautiful goal from Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Actually, all the 3 goals in that match were special.
They were special, yeah, because the equalizer from Julian Alvarez was quite special.
Quite special. And then the winner from, who was it, Brahim Diaz?
Yeah, Brahim Diaz, yeah. Beautiful, yeah. The dancing feet inside that crowded 6-yard box, yeah. It was like operating in a phone booth. Yeah, and it was beautiful from the Moroccan. By the way, Brahim Diaz is choosing to play for Morocco over Spain. Is one of the table turners in African football, because Morocco was so strong over the last 3-4 years, off the back of what they did in Qatar at the World Cup. And this guy decides to play for Morocco now. And from just the qualifiers, they were the top scorers, the highest scorers. He was the top scorer and everything. It's just a game turner, a world-class player under the circumstances, joining world-class players.
That goes a long way to show you what Morocco's feat in finishing 4th in Qatar meant for African football.
Yes.
And for many of the Moroccans who have been born in Europe.
Europe, yeah.
Because the Moroccan national team, the bulk of that team are footballers who are born in Europe. They've got no roots in Morocco apart from their parents. Having been born of parents who are immigrants.
Yes,
including Hakimi.
Hakimi, yeah. These are guys are born in the Netherlands and Belgium mostly, and also Spain.
Netherlands, Belgium,
and Spain, yeah. But anyways, I believe Madrid will manage to get the draw that sends them into the next round. Because if Atletico win, they send this into a penalty, rather not into extra time. I don't think Madrid want to go there with Atletico and go into a shootout against Jan Oblak. They have a world-class goalkeeper in Thibaut Courtois of their own, but I'd fancy Oblak over Courtois in a penalty shootout. I don't know why. I'm just thinking Madrid will not get there. Will not allow for it to get there. So draw for me. Draw for me, Mark.
Yes, Mark.
It's going to be a very close game. Madrid won that game, but it was a very close game as well. I think I'm going for an Atletico victory in 90 minutes.
So
I don't know what will happen after that.
Yeah,
but I'm going for Atletico to win that particular game. I'm going for a 1-0 Atletico.
Well, okay, 1-0 is extra time. If they win by a 2-goal margin, Madrid are out. That's what you're saying.
There are days when Jan Oblak decides to be the best goalkeeper in the history of football.
And it's going to be one of those. You're hoping.
He grab everything between the sticks. So I'm fancying him to have one of those days against Mbappe and Bellingham and Rodrigo and Vini Jr.
Okay. Moving on, we have Man United and Sociedad.
Yeah, that's Thursday night Europa, second leg. Man United only drew away in Spain, the first leg last week. And it's the only little hope they have left of salvaging a very, very dead season, both in terms of silverware, but also in terms of what it means for them next season, because it will take them into the Champions League. England are getting a 5th slot for the Champions League next year, most likely, looks like. And United is not one of those 5, but they can squeeze in as a 6th if they actually win Europa.
That's how bad.
It's a long journey. There's still other teams which are even better than Sociedad in the competition that can beat United proper. But this one, I think they overcome. Before the first leg, I thought it was going to be really tough. It could still be, because United at Old Trafford have no guarantees. But the first leg was a pointer towards the fact that United can take care of this. They should be able to take care of Sociedad in this moment, in that form. So they will win. I think United can win this 2-1 or 3-1.
The problem with United, Mark, is that they are actually still, over the last 4 or 5 years, has been goal scoring. Even when Marcus Rashford was at the club, United haven't had that ruthless finisher. I mean, they've been trying for goals because
striker.
Their strikes have been coming from an odd Dalot goal here, then you get a Maguire popping up with, the Ugarte and then some heroics from Bruno, but it just happened that Holland doesn't score the goal under Ruben Amorim. Got injured. And then
it's been Martinez, Maguire, Delete. It's been the central defenders scoring goals.
I mean, you look at it and you wonder why they're going to get goals, and yet they'll need the goals against Sociedad. United doesn't come off as the kind of team which is going to keep a clean sheet in a high-stakes game like Sociedad. Sociedad do create chances and they can't finish in as much as they defended well in that game in San Sebastian. But I'll go for United in this one just because Bruno is playing some of the best football that is played all season, and I just think United being at Old Trafford and being their only chance to salvage something, I think they'll just nick this one 1-0.
1-0. Why I want to tell Mark that I believe the goals are just about to come and Thursday night might be it, is because, I agree with Mark on United finding it really hard to score. It's been the defenders scoring goals and then Bruno from set pieces and all. But over the last 5 games, United have not lost over 90 minutes. The only oddity was they lost to Fulham in a shootout. They didn't lose that game in 90 minutes still. Those 5 games, they've scored in each one of those 5 games. I'm talking Everton, I'm talking Ipswich, I'm talking Fulham, I'm talking Sociedad, and then Arsenal. And they've scored, at least managed to score a goal from in each one of those games. Yeah, against Fulham it was, actually against Ipswich it was 3 and Everton was 2. The rest 1. But finally, there were chances created more than in the previous losses over the 2 months. And those chances were being fluffed. The biggest culprit has been Alejandro Garnacho. He missed chances against Fulham. They should never have gone to extra time in that FA Cup game. He could have put it to bed. He could have put the Sociedad game to bed as well. And then against Arsenal, it wasn't him at the culprit this time because he was the creator-in-chief. He played very well.
Yes.
This time the chances were blown by Højlund, by Zirkzee, by Bruno, not because they were lethargic necessarily, Højlund was, but the other 2 were being thwarted by Raya, David Raya, in great form. I thought that Raya did a great job in keeping Arsenal in that game as a draw. Arsenal had territorial dominance, but United had the better chances and should have won outright. So Raya kept goal very well. If they're going to play in that spirit, one of these days those goals are going to come. And even from Højlund, there will be one. Trust me.
Surprising.
So I'm thinking this might be the night.
I don't believe that.
So I'm saying 2-1 or 3-1.
I don't believe that when Højlund scores and the referee points to the side.
And it's legit, yeah?
It's legit.
No VAR, nothing.
I think Højlund is going to score and VAR is going to be set
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's go to Spurs Alkmaar.
That's also a second leg of the Europa League, and Spurs lost their away leg. But I think that they should be able to take care of business in London. They have their weaknesses this season, most of them stemming from the absentees they have at the back because of injuries. They've affected the way the rest of the team has played. They've actually been hit by injuries quite seriously. But I think that in Son and Kulusevski and the returning Solanke, in Mathis Tel, and some of those midfielders, I mean, there's been goals these days from Matesa. There should be goals. There should be goals against a Dutch side which plays open in football. Yeah?
Richarlison?
No, Richarlison isn't, but I think Solanke is back. I saw Solanke on the pitch the other day.
I think Spurs will win.
They should win. They should win. And I'm actually giving them like a 3-1 or 2-1 or 2-0.
I'm going for 2-0 for Spurs.
Yeah.
All right, Man City, Brighton.
That's tough for City because Brighton play fearlessly. They're not scared of the big boys. They play expansively, and against City, even at City's best, they've actually given them a bloody nose. Mitoma and Welbeck and company. And yet this time, Brighton are actually in great form. So great that they are vying for that 5th Champions League slot that I talked about. They are one of 3 or 4 teams that could sneak that 5th plus. That is along with Chelsea and Aston Villa and Newcastle.
Yeah.
And one of Man City.
I actually think, Mark, that
so But Man City will beat them.
Mark, even Arsenal is involved in that race for the top 5 positions.
You think?
It's very close. The gap is
Arsenal should still finish second.
Well,
they should still be able to
well,
finish
they should,
second.
but
Yeah.
they're not so far away. Haven't
No, they could be drawn into that conversation.
Absolutely, because it's quite tight. I mean, there's Chelsea there, there's Man City there, there's Brighton there, there's Nottingham Forest there. It's quite tight.
It's tight. Yeah, Newcastle and Aston Villa are knocking on the door as well.
Yeah.
They, if they don't find goals soon, because they couldn't find many against United, they couldn't find many in the previous matches. They've been dropping more points than they've been winning over the last 1 month.
Yeah.
And yet the teams we mentioned in that race, most of them are on the up, while Arsenal are on the down. So, yeah, they could be dragged into that conversation. It would be a shame, really, because I still believe they should be second to Liverpool, even if they've dropped out of the title race.
But I'm going for Man City to beat Brighton.
I'm also going for City to beat Brighton.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Chelsea.
Now you see that's what we are saying. If Arsenal don't win this one, and that's against a direct rival for these Champions League places, if they don't win this one, they're in trouble because a few of the other teams will close in.
You see,
On them.
I wonder.
And I don't think they're going to win
I
it.
think
Wow.
I'm not giving it to them because I think with Chelsea,
it beggars belief.
well, they could.
Because Arsenal,
Mark.
we knew from the onset that Arsenal needed a striker. As far as the season, I still don't understand why Mikel Arteta wasn't aggressive enough to hunt out for a striker there in the summer. Because even with Saka and Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli
And Kai Havertz.
Arsenal are still lightweight up front.
Yes, they are.
And now they don't have them. So you can imagine the kind of crisis. I don't know why Arteta wasn't very aggressive for striker.
It's a super crisis because now they're putting.
Mikel Merino has never been a striker.
Yeah, he's their false nine. He's a guy who's strong in the air. Has got a good left foot, ability to shoot.
He's not a striker.
He's not a striker.
Despite
thing though is
So
no, he can fill in. He can fill in. He can fill in and can be used as a dummy. That would work if only the guys around him had all of a sudden also lost their confidence in their abilities to score. Because actually, on paper, I mean, Martin Odegaard and Leandro Trossard should be able to put the ball in the back of the net, even if they're not number 9s. And so should, even if he's just a kid, Ethan Nwaneri, and a little further back, perhaps Declan Rice and all. And the guys I'm mentioning have actually scored recently. Because all of them scored against, everybody scored against PSV for Arsenal, and then Rice scored against Man U. So there's goals, and Odegaard actually got a hat. Did he get a late hat-trick or something? No, he got a double. He got a double, yeah. So those guys have got the ability to score. They've got to just believe in it again, because Arsenal still move the ball around well.
So
but Mark,
that Chelsea game, I believe on either side.
You can't play between now and the end of the season, you have 10 or so games. You're not going to rely on goals coming from everywhere, because against Chelsea, you're going to someone who's a finisher, who's going to score goals.
Yeah, I agree. Chelsea themselves have been missing, and never thought I'd say this, but I am. They've been missing their Senegalese forward, Nicolas Jackson. Yes, they actually have, yeah. Nkunku has stepped in, but Jackson somehow was better.
Yeah. The match Malin Jackson.
Yeah, and the goals have dried up for Cole Palmer. He was on fire first half of the season. He's not been scoring that really.
Missed a penalty against Leicester.
Yeah, actually even missed a penalty. And then I don't see many goals coming from other areas. Then Pedro Neto in the wide areas, as well as Enzo coming out of midfield. Guys who have been on the score sheet lately. But again, even for Chelsea, it's not like the goals are flying in.
yeah.
So I'm looking at a draw, actually, personally. I'm looking at
Arsenal,
a draw.
Chelsea.
Yeah, in which both teams will score, but again, their lethargy, their lethargic nature in front of goal will show.
I'm going for a 0-0.
For both, okay. Atletico, Barcelona Atletico.
Wow.
Now this is why we're saying this is a make or break week for in England and Spain, and also you can see
And
the games in
Italy.
England how they're make or break.
Yes.
Yeah, in a sense, Arsenal, Brighton, Man City, Chelsea, who make or break. But Spain is the same. Atletico, you can imagine, will be playing that game against Barcelona
Yeah.
3 days after playing the second leg against Real Madrid
Yo.
in the Champions League. Crazy.
That's
And,
crazy, yes.
And
Such a
because
short time.
Atletico got beaten in the La Liga last weekend,
Yes.
Barcelona are on top, and Madrid and Atletico are just behind them. Yes. So it's a three-way title race, but for Atletico to actually get properly back into it, they need to beat Barcelona in this game.
They need to beat Barcelona to get back in it. And they've already beaten Barcelona this season.
Yes.
You see them in the first round. And then they played that very crazy 4-4 game in the Copa del Rey, where I think Atletico equalized deep in the 97th minute to make it 4-4. In the league, actually, they beaten Barcelona with the 94th minute winner. The very last kick of the game.
They did, yeah.
So there's been some late drama in
those Atletico Barcelona games.
But I'm just going to go for Barcelona on this one. I mean, the form of Barcelona's attackers this season, even with Robert Lewandowski a bit of the boil, you know, Rafinha has been something else. Lamine Yamal is playing the best football I can remember for a kid of his age. I mean, his consistency. He has maturity way beyond his years. You know, the assist he made against Benfica for Rafinha.
Yes.
You know, it was stuff which was out of this world. And listen, we've been wondering who's going to carry the mantle as the face of world football after the departures of Messi and CR7 in the beginning of their careers. And believe you me, Lamine Yamal possibly fits that bill more than Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, because he's going to even be around for longer. So he's going to be the face of football. At the moment now, of course, the world football will have to do with Mbappe and maybe Erling Haaland. But Haaland has struggled with Man City's struggles, unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah, so Mbappe is the man. But for a long time, it's going to be Yamal.
I say Lamine Yamal, Mark, because Lamine Yamal has got that X factor. He has that certain grace about him. I'll be at pains to say Mbappe has grace.
Not really. They're both. Yeah, Mbappe is explosive. Haaland is super aggressive. Yeah, he's a machine. Yamal has grace. Actually, and yet he's also a more likable character than, say, Vinicius Junior, who is the other member. We're supposed to look at being mentioned in the breadth of faces of world football. Yeah. So.
Okay, so.
Yeah. So
how do
I'm thinking that
I'm going for Barca.
I'm going for an X2.
I'm going for Barca. 2-1 Barcelona.
All right. Then we have Fiorentina, Juventus.
That's a good one. My man David De Gea is the reason I follow Fiorentina these days.
We were taking the cleaners by Atlanta. Juve not quite the force of all. I think they have to bounce back. They can't allow to be beaten like they were by Atlanta. I'm going for a 1-1.
I'm going for a draw as well. It's, by the way, those two teams I think are in the race for Champions League football in Italy as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's interesting there. There's a race for Champions League football, and even the title is far from decided.
It would be interesting to see Moise Kean against his former team.
Moise Kean against UFA?
One of your better players this season.
Yeah. But I'm going for a draw, either 1-1 or 2-2. 1-1 perhaps, yeah.
So our last being Atlanta, Inter Milan.
Now you see why I'm saying we're saying it's make or break.
Yes.
Even in Italy, because those two are actually fighting for the title, along with Napoli.
It's gonna be one heavy
that will
weekend.
Be wild. That one will be wild. I'm actually going 2-2.
That is probably my match of the round.
Atlanta Inter.
Match of the weekend. Atlanta Inter. Oh my God! I'll go for Inter. I'll go for Inter.
Yeah?
The away win, yeah?
I'll go for Inter.
I'm going 2-2.
2-1 Inter Milan.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in each time, for being with us here. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for the love. It's been the amazing Mark to Mark, the only sports conversation with a difference. Don't forget to get down there, leave a comment, like, share, and leave your mind. And yeah, always bet with us. Thank you so much. Till next time.